Is Kanye taking things too far, fighting publicly for his children? Let's talk about it. This is an Iwebu production.
Period.
Recently, Ye was in the headlines again, but this time he's fighting for his kids.
Hey everybody, I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I am not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with. You understand what I'm saying? So when we had the Donda 2 release in Miami, I got a flight for all my kids to come from Calabasas to come in Miami to see the kids. Then assistant hit me and said, all the kids, they said the kids are there. When the plane took off, I got a text from Kim that said, North won't be on the plane. You see, this is the kind of stuff that's just like the Chicago birthday party. And I'm glad that y'all saw in the variety piece what I have to deal with. Here go another thing. The Doves high school basketball game. We hold one in California. My daughter loves basketball. I want her to see the league that her father is starting. North can't go to that game. Now we got Sunday service this morning at 10 a.m. and it's North had a sleepover, so she can't come to Sunday service. I moved the Sunday service up to 10 a.m. so that I can go to Saint soccer game at 12:30. Move the entire thing.
Wow. That really hit me in
Triggering.
It hit me in my heart, like big time for a number of reasons. So
yeah,
most of we have 4 kids. So I got 2 kids, 2 different women before we got married. So I'm no stranger to custody battles, okay?
Baby mama drama.
Yeah. Understand? I hate to say it. It's like something that I don't really want to, but
yeah,
it is what it is. It came with the field of the things that I did. It's consequences. Yeah. But so this took me back to a few years ago. I found myself we found ourselves in the middle of an unexpected custody battle. One of my daughters was, typically seeing us on the weekends, every other weekend. Also, she was seeing us on the weekday. And this one instance, her mother and I got into an argument. No profanity, nothing crazy, but we got into this argument. And from that time forward, it seemed like the weekends following that my daughter was doing something on the weekend I was supposed to have her.
Yeah.
This didn't make sense to me.
Sound familiar?
Sounds familiar. Okay. I understand what he's talking about. So eventually it got to the point to where she says that my daughter was offended about something and my daughter no longer wanted to come over anymore.
Out of nowhere.
Now, mind you, she's daddy's girl for real. You understand? Glued to me.
Where's that?
All the time, right? All the time, right? So I'm like, what? Yeah. And the mother did not want to sit down. Nope. The mother did not want to she didn't want to let me talk to my daughter. Nope. I had nothing in place as far as joint custodies or anything like that. So she basically had the power to do this. So fast forward, this goes on for probably about 6 to 9 months or so.
Blocked you.
Blocked me. I had no access to her. Yeah. No way I could get no way I could get around this, right? Fast forward, one day I'm out visiting my stores and the Holy Spirit dropped on me. How about, since she won't take your text messages, you go drop a note at her door. Yeah. So I stopped at a gas station. I wrote out this note and because I had no papers, I wrote out this note, went to that door. And when I got there, at her place, at my child's mother's place, the door was cracked and it was a maintenance man going in and out. I called for my daughter's name. She comes running, crying into my arms. I hug her. I said, where's your mother at? She says, she's gone to work. I'm like, when does she get off? She tells me the time is what, mind you, this is like more kind of in the morning. I'm like, okay. She's like, basically she stays there and it's a maintenance man going in and out. A man. She's the only one there, she tells me.
You can't forget how old she was.
She was only like 9 years old.
Yeah.
I said, come on, we leaving now.
And we find out that was a normal thing that was happening.
That was a normal thing that was happening.
Yeah.
We later find out when we get her home later. So her and I are driving. My daughter's just bawling in tears. Okay. And I'm just like, hey, baby, like, talk to me. I'm like, baby, talk to me. Let me know what's on your heart. Yeah. She said, I had been praying to God continuously all the time. She said, I finally said my final prayer. I just said, this is like the last time I'm going to pray. Like, this is no joke to y'all, right? She said, I prayed. She said, my mother would leave her other phone. It was connected to YouTube. So she said, I went on there and I put a comment on one of Miss Keisha's videos. So rewind back. I want to take y'all back a few days before that, babe.
It was the same day, babe, that I got that notification.
No, it wasn't the same day that we went and did that, though. No, it wasn't.
I was at work.
No.
Okay.
No, you wasn't at work, babe. You wasn't even working. Like
I was in training.
No. It probably wasn't there.
Go ahead.
But but it's okay. So anyway, as far as it goes, like, so it might have been, and you might be right. You might be right on that. My mind has
right.
Mind y'all. I'm 8 years older than my
so
wife.
Confident too.
Okay.
I was at work when I got the notification on my YouTube, and it said her mother's name, and I texted.
Oh yeah. Okay. Got you. Yeah, you're right.
You be so confidently wrong. Like, it's irritating.
Hey, brothers, y'all.
God,
y'all stand with me.
Like,
you are wrong. I'm gonna be confidently wrong.
Like, no, you're not working. How you gonna tell me? I know where I was at when I got that notification.
Hey, listen.
I was at work and I saw her mother's name, and I was like, now, because I ain't never had a conversation with this lady. So
like a good one.
Right. And not even a bad one.
Not really a bad one. Y'all just didn't. Never talked. Y'all just weren't friends or nothing like that, or y'all didn't really communicate. Not friends, and y'all didn't communicate.
Yeah, nah. But I remember getting the comment, and it was like, wow, this really helped me today. Or something like that. Yeah,
and we saw her name, and we were like...
And we saw her name, and I was like, under my video, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And so something, even while I was in training at this time, and that was the day that you went.
Yeah.
I remember looking at it, and something in my spirit said, nah, this feels like baby girl. This don't feel like that. Okay, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so she tells me that she's the one. So now we find out my daughter was the one. She started thinking strategically. How can I get my dad's attention? How can I get around the walls that's up between us?
Right.
Okay, because I want to see my father.
Yeah.
So, she tells me that she said, and she's felt like God finally really heard her prayer.
Yeah.
It was really a revelation that God hears her prayers.
Yes.
That hit my heart. I dang near started dropping tears right there. Okay. But anyway, fast forward. I pretty much forced a court case because I had no joint custody. Remember, we get to the judge. The judge tells us right away. She's not even listening. She's just like, right away, mediator. Yeah, come here. Take them. Yeah, find out a scheduling plan for them. That's it. So it was an African-American lady, brings us into a room. And her and I, my child's mother and I start talking about how we can arrange these things. And she basically starts to kind of like basically take over control of things. And the lady says, no, we're not going to do that. She said, listen, let me tell you something. In your seat is usually the man. Okay. Which is basically the one that's the defendant. Okay. She said, in his seat is usually the woman, and I don't let it go down then, and I'm not going to let it go down now. We're here to discuss and figure out how he can get parenting time. So let's start here.
Because she was making the situation not about the situation.
It wasn't about the situation. Yeah. It was about a whole bunch of other stuff.
That don't matter.
Right.
In the court of law. Like, exactly. They don't care.
Let me tell you, because any man who knows, who's had to keep his restraint, who didn't pop up at her house, do nothing crazy, like, inside of me, I'm just kicking for joy. Like, thank you, Lord.
Because I was on the phone, and then what?
right. I told it, right. I'm just like, man, thank you. Because, she checked it right then and said, no, we're going to get this straight. You're not going to manipulate him. None of that. She said, we're not having any of that. So anyway, we figure out, the time slates, and now I see my daughter regularly, no issues. There was no issues. I mean, she came to you during that time that we did have her because we kept her for a while there, for a week because we had to play keep away for a minute. But what did she tell you during that time?
Yeah, I remember I was in the room folding clothes and she knocked on the door and was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" I was like, "Okay." And I thought you sent her. Yeah. And I was like, "Okay." And I mean, it might have been 30 minutes, but it felt like an hour. She sat on our bed and she was just talking to me, saying
like an adult,
talking like a full blown, like grown woman.
She was 9 years old.
Do you remember how she was talking?
Yes, because she came and kind of repeated to me what she said to you.
Yeah, it was the Holy Spirit.
But what did she say?
Just way too mature.
Yeah.
I was like, this is God. You know how?
Anyways, you know when you feel like something. You're like, that's how this felt.
Yeah, and so she sat there and she was like, "I'm so grateful for you. Like, I'm so thankful that you stayed here with my dad. I can't imagine how hard it was for him. I'm so sorry that I've been away. I'm sorry that the situation is what it like." She's apologizing for her mom. Yeah. She's like, "I'm so sorry. It like that was wrong. That was wrong. Like it shouldn't have happened. I'm thankful for you," and amongst a lot of other stuff that she said. Yes. But she just reassured us like that ain't got nothing to do with me. Yeah. I love y'all and I want to be with y'all. And it was the Holy Spirit reminding us, because in the midst of this, like not in the midst of that, but later, I don't know if it was the same time, we had people around us that was kind of acting crazy and funny. Oh too. Yeah,
they was making it more like, I didn't find out till later.
Yeah, we found out later.
People in my own church congregation was told that basically I had kidnapped my daughter. Like that's how they made it out. Nobody ever came to me about it. Like, "Hey bro, I heard something." Nothing at all. Nobody reports this to me. I find this out later down the road, mind you. So it's been told that Nnamdi kidnapped his daughter, and I had people that was working supposedly that was on leadership with me that was working to try to figure this thing out too, like try to get my daughter back.
And told us.
Let us know later. Yeah. Well, again, this is way later down the road. Yeah. So that's one thing. I had when I was posting about that, I hadn't seen her in a while or whatever, and I wasn't putting out big time detail or whatever. And I was just talking about how basically both, child needs both parents. Okay. I remember a young lady that I know is friends and cordial with my child's mom, basically saying, well, if the child doesn't want to see their father, then that's okay. If they don't want to go over there, I don't think they should be forced to.
And can I say something? When I hear women say that, my first thought is, what did your mama do in a situation with you and your father? And what are you doing with your child and your baby daddy
right now?
And every time I find out, they daughter ain't seeing they daddy.
It's usually a cycle.
Yeah.
It's usually a cycle.
Like one of the people I was like, so when out of curiosity, when's the last time your daughter seen her father?
I bet.
Well, it's been a while. Yeah, so that's why you agree with ignorance and stupidity. Exactly. Y'all know this is a good man. Y'all all sound dumb.
As you can see, this fires us up, and that's why I say with Kanye. Now Kanye in his situation, he may have done some crazy things as far as him and Kim. I do not agree with some of the ways that he's going about that. I would definitely tell him to stop. Yeah. But I do understand what he's saying. When a lot of times the man, we're looked at as the guilty party right away.
Well, like it just goes in
when it comes down to custody battles, it goes to the mom's favor right away. Okay. And a lot of it's smoke and mirrors. People don't really know what's actually going on. So I saw where Kim is like, no, he's lying. And then, I'm seeing what he's posting, and it seems really heartfelt. I'm not saying that he's actually right. I'm not saying he's telling the truth. All I'm saying to you is, you may know somebody else that's dealing with this situation. I've heard this like time and time again. Like literally, it used to be that fathers wasn't into life back when I was a kid, right? That was the trend. Like fathers wasn't there, my dad wasn't there, and all of that. Then as my generation grew up and got in our 20s, it became the whole theme used to be, or the thing I kept hearing over and over again was, she's not letting me see my child. Yeah. You don't want to be with her. She's not letting me see my child. And that was the new thing. The daddies want to be in a life, and the girl's like, nah. This is the way I can get back at you. I've talked about this before, man. Yeah. And so it really hits it hard when I hear someone like Kanye, just like, she's supposed to be at Sunday service. I wanted her at Sunday service. Like, what happened to her at least coming to church and all these different things. And it's sad that he actually had all his kids in marriage. Yeah. And he has to go through this. Yeah. I feel for him deeply.
Yeah.
On top of the fact that he really did want to keep his wife.
Right.
You know, and I haven't heard of any real biblical grounds for, divorce. And now she's legally divorced. So now he has to deal with this. He wasn't invited to the birthday party and all these things, man. And so, again, hit my heart, made me think of my situation and what I've been through there. And so one thing I'll leave you guys with this. If you guys know somebody or you hearing of these parties, if you're around a young lady, or ex-wife or anything, no matter what the issue was, as long as it wasn't something like abuse or anything like that, obviously, and they're keeping their child away from the father, I ask that you speak up.
Challenge
Challenge that. And ask them,
they be
give
dead
you some more,
wrong like 90% of the time.
90% of the time, it has something that has nothing to do with the child.
You ain't never heard the woman say, well, he molested her, or he, you know what I'm saying, smacked her upside her head and threw her across the wall. It's usually something dumb. Oh, well, he didn't give me $50 and he not really showing when she's, I mean, we done heard really retarded
Our
dumb
stuff stemmed from, she thought I didn't feed my daughter, which come on. Like, I'm not going to feed you understand? Like all the rest of the kids eat, but that's what ours stemmed from. And
or
it was
she
an
was
argument.
warming up her own oatmeal.
Yeah, that was something else that she also had. Those were the type of things that we're getting at. I sympathize in some ways about how a person's heart is feeling because, again, I was with this woman. I laid down with her out of wedlock. You understand? So I understand that this is the only thing that she can kind of stab at me with. You understand? I get that. But when we get to using a child, I look at that as borderline abuse. I look at that as close to, in my mind. No, it is. Yeah. It is abuse. It's mental abuse because they love you both. Yep. You understand? They want to.
And they got to choose.
Yeah, they got to choose. And so I look at that as borderline abuse. And man, it's something that it has to stop.
It does.
And we got to just stand up as a culture.
I was going to say, I'm proud of you for speaking up about it, especially as a black man.
I hate talking about this, by the way.
No,
I know
people think we love talking about this.
About my children's mom, all of that. Like, I just want y'all to see me and my wife and where we at and all of that. But hey, I made some decisions that have carried on with me. Yeah. Listen, brother.
Well, what I was saying is I'm proud of you for speaking up because men are ashamed to say something about it because everybody's always ready to. Because I remember during the time where we was saying certain stuff. And we were finding out different things from believers on top of that. It was heartbreaking. Like, we were heartbroken when we found out that people were literally about to file a report that you kidnapped your daughter. Exactly. Like, with the people we serve.
Exactly.
Think about that. You are serving with someone at church every weekend. Yeah. And they're contemplating if they should write a report about you instead of having a conversation. So speaking up and having these conversations, it has to be difficult for you because you do want to move on, be with your wife, be with your family. But the reality of it is the test that we go through is our testimony. Not really. This is what we do by giving. This is us giving back. So I'm proud of you. I just want to say that.
So I just say this, man, if you're someone again who's in that area, talk to your friend if they're keeping their child away from the father, even if it's the reverse side. And it's the guy who has the child. He's keeping away from the mother. Listen, the children need both parties and they need them to cooperate well. Okay. They don't need to see all the drama and all those things there. I know some of these things are probably to this day scarred my children. Yeah. And I don't want that same thing to happen with any of those people out there who are watching this right now. Yep. So I ask that you speak up as far as that goes. So tell us, hey, have this something that you guys known to happen? Have you ever seen this situation happen with some of your friends, some of your brothers, your sisters? Are you one of those people who has happened with as far as custody battles, man? Yeah. Well, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think Kanye going too far? We want to hear from you. Drop that comment below. Hey man, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and do not forget to hit that notification bell. Yes. We need y'all to be notified every single time we go live and when we drop a video. And follow us on all social media platforms at The Ewables. And we will see y'all next time on Radical Love with The Ewables.
We'll see you.